What's up, YouTube? Back on another video, and I'm here to talk about my worries and a little bit concerns about the DC universe and the whole James Gunn and what he's doing with everything. Because I'm kind of worried, a little bit concerned. And I ain't gonna lie to you. So before we get to that, we have to start at the beginning. So it all starts with James Gunn. He was working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and a bunch of old tweets and shit got out, and it was a very bad look, so they fired him. When he was fired, he went to go make the Suicide Squad by DC. The movie, they enjoyed what he was doing, and they kind of hired him eventually to be the new head of DC. And after he finished Guardians of the Galaxy 3, he is now working on DC movies, and his upcoming movie, Superman Legacy, is in production, right? And so he's dropping all the castings and all the different characters are going to be in the movie, shit like that. But when he started, he started with, this is going to be a full-blown reboot. We're going to reboot everything. And because people wanted the Snyderverse to continue, and for those who don't know, if you also been living on the rock, the Snyderverse is basically the DC universe that was in the movies currently, like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, not the theater version, but the Zack Snyder version and stuff like that. That was headed by Zack Snyder, aka the Snyderverse. And he was unceremoniously fired and kind of thrown under the bus by Warner Brothers because they kind of used the death of his daughter to like cover that up, like, oh, he needed to step away when he was basically fired and shit like that. And it caused a whole controversy about like his cut of the movie, because the cut of the movie that came out in theaters was hot dog shit, hot garbage. And people were asking for the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut. Warner Brothers made HBO Max, and they said, okay, if you want the Snyder Cut so fucking badly, we're gonna give Zack Snyder X amount of money to finish his cut, quote unquote, of the movie, even though it's not his fucking cut of the movie, because he even came out and said, oh, there's more stuff I wanted to add it, but I wasn't able to do it, so it's not your cut then. If there's more shit you had planned that you couldn't do then, but I digress. Fucking cash grab, fucking 4 hours of fucking boring mess. I didn't like the Snyder Cut, okay? I'm sorry, sue me. This shit was boring as hell. I'm sorry. The only thing I liked better was, Darkseid was cool. He looked better. He was dope as shit. I like the spikes. It was fire. But I'm side tangent. Anyway, all that shit happens. Basically, the DCU is falling apart, right? And so they hire James Gunn, and he's like, okay, you have the keys to the DC Universe. Do whatever you want. Just fix it, because you obviously made Guardians of the Galaxy, help write Infinity War and Endgame. So you know what the fuck you're doing. And he knows how to make good superhero. I'm not going to sit here and discredit the man, tell me he don't know how to make good superhero movies. He obviously does, because he's fucking doing it. He's successful at it. And so he come out with this, him and I think his name is Peter Safran, I think is his name. Or the other dude, they're like the CEO, CO, whatever, of the cinematic universe. And so he comes out and he says, okay, we're going to do a full-blown reboot. After The Flash is going to trigger a reboot, because he's the Flash movie is dealing with basically Flashpoint, which is him traveling back in time to save his mom. He does that, fucks up time, right? He comes out, he says that, and he says, and I quote, I will put the quote here, the Flash movie is the greatest movie of all time. See, that movie is not fucking good, okay? That movie is I liked the movie and the movie wasn't good. Like, there's no, like, as someone who likes the movie, I will never, you can put a gun to my head, I named top 5 superhero movies, The Flash would be nowhere near my fucking list. Because how the fuck do you see that monstrosity and say it's the greatest superhero film of all time? Like, what? Like, what? The cocaine must be pure as fuck. It must be like some, you ever seen them dance at the Soul Train awards or whatever? How they was getting it back in the day? The cocaine was pure. Alright, that's what James Gunn was on. Because there's no fucking way. And so he started off with saying all the right things, is going to be a reboot, going to do our own things, this and the third. But then he starts picking back on it. And that's what's starting to piss me off, right? So he'll come out and say, yeah, The Flash is going to reboot everything, which leads into our new universe with Superman. All these other movies are going to come up, but they're not connected to DCU, right? I'm like, okay, cool. And so he says that, and then later on he's like, well, actually, the Flash is gonna reboot some of the stuff, not all of the stuff. It's gonna reboot everything except the stuff that I touch, with like my wife being in it, and the Peacemaker, and Viola Davis, Amanda Waller, which I get, but you could still do a full-blown reboot with the same actors, if that makes sense. Because it doesn't make sense to me how you pick and choose to keep people and fire other people. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why is this such a big deal? I mean, he obviously picked people he worked with, but I mean, he worked with him, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? It wouldn't be a problem if he didn't come out and fire the dude who played Superman. So when Black Adam came out, the movie that was made by The Rock and all that shit, one of the big selling points was the Superman was going to return in this movie. And he basically exposed it, talking about, oh my god, this is gonna be it, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna go into the whole details of Black Adam and shit like that, but basically Henry Cavill, after Superman has not been in a fucking anything since Justice League, even the Snyder Cut, like, it's been like years, right? He finally comes back, everyone's happy, then literally months later he gets fucking fired, right? And so people are upset. It's like, bro, why bring it? It's like the meme, why the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it, you know? It's like that meme. It's literally what it is. And so he gets fired, and James Gunn's reasoning for that is, I'm going my own direction. We're going to fully reboot. If we're fully rebooting, we have to start from scratch, right? I'm like, okay, cool. If you're doing a full reboot, or a full clean slate, okay, cool. I can understand. I can take the blow, the bittersweetness of, okay, we're not going to see the same actors play these characters again. It's kind of like bringing Spider-Man to MCU. If we're going to do a full reboot, I understand. Not giving Andrew another movie. I get it. But you can't then come out and say, well, actually, we're going to reboot everything but the stuff that I like. It's like, bro, you can't have both ways. It's either you keep the actors that was already in the fucking part, or you reboot everything. You can't keep... I'm sorry, but James does this fucking thing where, like, he hires all his homies to play fucking characters that they don't fit. It's like, I get when you're, like, your brother... Like, because he's just been cast in, as Maxwell Lord. And if that name sounds familiar, he was in Wonder Woman... Maxwell Lord was the character in Wonder Woman 84, I think was the name of the movie. Movie's ass. But you probably know him from this scene.
Life is good, but it can be better.
And so Pedro Pascal played him, right? And so now he's being played by Sean Gunn, which I'm not a big DC... Like, I'm more of like a... How to put this? A casual DC fan, right? But from what I know of Maxwell Lord, and even from the stuff I looked up, how the fuck are you getting Sean Gunn vibes from fucking Maxwell Lord? Like, I can't see it. And then you have Nathan Fillion, old ass Nathan Fillion, as fucking Guy Gardner, which should be one of the young... Because the whole point of Guy Gardner is he's a fucking dickhead, you know what I mean? He's not a dickhead, but he gets his shit pushed in occasionally, because he's like one of those young talk before you think type of guys, you know what I mean? From the iterations that I read. I'm not a fucking, I'm not a professional. Oh my god, well, on this issue, Guy Gardner was this and third, but like, I don't see it. And it's like, is another actor that James Gunn loves to hire because it's like one of his homies and shit like that. And obviously his wife is of course going to be in it. I'm pretty sure that's the main reason why he fucking kept Peacemaker, because his wife plays a pivotal part in that fucking show, right? And so it's fucking, because I don't even understand why. I get if the Peacemaker was his own separate thing, but at the end you literally see the fucking Justice League in the show. It's like they literally have Jason Momoa and as Aquaman, and then the Flash, and they're talking to John Cena, who's Peacemaker. Like, you can't say, man, well, it's really disconnected, so like we can say it's not part of the universe. It's not like Daredevil where like no Avengers show up, so you can say, oh yeah, it's not part of our universe, or it is part of our universe if you want to include it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, what the fuck? And so he's making Superman Legacy, and a bunch of red flags coming up because like he's writing in all these fucking characters for like a Superman origin story. That's what he said at first. At first he was like, we're gonna look at the young life of Superman. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna have a young Superman growing up, learning to be Superman. I'm like, okay, cool. Then he's casting all these different he's casting fucking Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, fucking oh my god, what the fuck is his name? I cannot think. It's like the knockoff Fantastic Four of DC in the fucking movie. It's like, bro, you have all these fucking characters in here, and it's like, I thought it was supposed to be a Superman origin story. How you gonna throw? And he has a nerve to come out and say, oh yeah, superhero movies are turning into cameo porn, but then support the fucking Flash with the last 20 minutes and none but cameos from CGI dead actors. So okay, yeah. Oh, so you're doing so great right there, buddy. Like, okay, all right, whatever. But then he comes out and says, well, the superhero movie isn't going to be about a young Superman, but it's going to focus on his early life. Hold on. Let me get this straight. You're making a superhero movie, and you fire the best Superman that we've had so far that actually can capture the feel of Superman, because you say at first, we're starting over, they're too old to play their parts, etc., etc., etc. But then you say you're going to cast an... You're gonna make a story about an older Superman, but focus on his, like, it's... I don't get it. Like, am I tripping here? Like, why the fuck fire Henry Cavill at this point? Because you literally could do the same thing. I'm not saying keep all the parts of the Snyderverse. I say either go one way or the other. If you go the way of, we're going to continue, not the Snyderverse, but take all the actors, fire the ones we don't want, this, that, and the third, and continue the story, because like you could theoretically continue off from what Zack Snyder did, but just don't go in the direction of, because Zack Snyder was going in the direction of Injustice, right? Which I thought would have been a dog shit idea, because evil Superman is fucking boring as shit, and Zack Snyder is not the best writer for that. So going in a different direction or whatever, you could have done it, right? Or you can go the full reboot where like we're rebooting everything, we're getting new actors and actresses for everything. Too bad, so sad that Peacemaker is good. Oh fucking well, because it's not coming back. Like, that's what you gotta do. Like, bro, you can't have it both ways where it's like, I want to cherry pick these people to come back, but not these people to come back for no fucking reason. Have these bullshit ass excuses as to why they can't come back. You know what I mean? And then save face and then try to like switch sides every time someone brings it up. And the fucking nerve of him to reply to everything on Twitter but the questions that people are asking him. So if you were to ask him, hey, what color is Superman's outfit? He'll reply to you in a heartbeat. But if you ask him, hey, what about these rumors about Gal Gadot having another Wonder Woman movie, even though you said this shit's gonna be a reboot? Oh, silence and crickets. Well, he'll reply right under you with someone asking, yeah, so will the cape be short or long? Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Can we get actual leadership in the DCU? I don't know. It'll never happen. It never happened. I don't even think, like, it's bad enough that people are saying we're going through a superhero fatigue, which I don't think so. I think the movies that came out have been ass, because the movies that are good have actually done good. But you know how people love to throw out those fancy words and make, you know, a pop on an article and shit. But this Superman movie has to hit. Like, it has to be a certified banger for it to justify this entire universe. Because if Superman Legacy is mid to ass, it's because he's stepping out his wheelhouse with this one. James Gunn movies are usually misfit of characters that come together at the end to make a family, you know what I mean, or bond together to, like, you know, defeat the problem. You're dealing with Superman, okay? And as you can tell, he's been harassed ever since he got this job. People have been asking him to get fired, this and the third. He's been harassed ever since he got the job. A lot of people be coming for your fucking, including me, because I'm a Superman fan. Listen, the Superman theme song, the original joint, come on now. Well, Christopher Reeves, shit. Have that play. When he showed up in Black Adam was hot dookie, okay? Which is funny enough, Superman and like Hawkman show up in Black Adam, and Hawkman's gonna show up in Superman Legacy, which is, I think it's funny. But when Superman showed up at Black Adam, it was literally the best part. I had a smile ear to fucking ear, because I'm geek, because Superman is a good Superman story is the best comic book stories ever, okay? It's literally All-Star Superman, which is one of the most, like, you know, talked about Superman stories, is the perfect one. When I'm not gonna geek out about Superman, but it's like he's such a misunderstood hero that I need him done justice. Other than I'm stronger than everyone, and if my love interest die, I'm immediately turned into a serial killer. It's like, all right, that's very inspirational. The fuck, but yeah, it's. I'm very worried, very fucking worried, and also the minor shit he says where it's like he's making a Batman movie with the dude who directed The Flash, which wasn't good, so I'm kind of concerned. And then the books he uses as inspiration is not even Bruce Wayne as Batman. It's fucking Damian Wayne and Nightwing who becomes Batman in the comic books. So it's like, bro, are you sure you're reading the right shit? And then you're gonna have audiences are already fucking stupid. So you're gonna have these different universes. You're gonna say, hey, Matt Reeves' Batman is gonna be in his own universe that isn't connected with our universe, but we're gonna have our own Batman that is part of our universe. Then we're gonna have fucking 3 different Jokers at once, because you're gonna have the DCU Joker when that Batman comes out. You're gonna have Matt Reeves' Batman. Then you have the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. You're gonna have 3 fucking Jokers at once. It's like, okay. And David Ayer is still trying to get a fucking Suicide Squad cut with his Joker. It's like, okay, alright, bro. Fucking reboot everything at this point. Just do it. And I would understand the problem if he wasn't able to reboot, like, Matt Reeves, because they just made, like, a critically acclaimed Batman movie. The movie was fucking gas, right? So I understand not wanting to mess with that, but the shit that you can mess with, you can't half-ass half this shit. That's what it's looking like. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my thoughts for now. That's my little rant and ramble. Tell me what you think down below. Do you think the DCU is gonna be successful? I highly doubt it. I think this shit's gonna fucking fall apart again, and they're gonna have to do a full-on reboot that they should have done. But you know, that are my thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. See ya.